Alrighty, so what is going on, Pokemoshpitbeta? This is KingQuag here, bringing you guys today's battle upload. Today's battle upload is a 5th gen NU match that I had against FatalFatalities. He caught me on the Smoking Wifi Battle Finder, and yeah, so here we are. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on the team preview, just a quick glance over it. Tangela probably going to be his physical wall because that's typically what Tangela are. Exploud probably going to be Scarf or Specs, kind of thinking, or either Scarf or Specs, because I know it won't be Choice Banded because I do see Bayonet, and those things are typically choice banded. Seviper, not too sure what that wants to do because I haven't seen a whole lot of Seviper. So I'm going to have to do some scouting with that, see what kind of set he is, and what role he has on the team. Bayonet, like I did say, going to be choice banded. Armaldo, knowing that his Tangela is going to be his physical wall, I kind of think that Armaldo is going to be offensive. So I'm going to have to keep Sandshrew around for that. And Gardevoir, I'm thinking it's going to be its special wall because I don't see anything else on his team that could have, or that could be a special wall. So with that being said, let's just move right on with the battle. So I'm just going to get off my Sandshrew because I want to get my rocks up because the rocks would really help with his Armaldo. And rocks are just nice to get the extra damage on anything that decides to come in. So he's gonna lead off with his Tangela, and I don't want to take a Giga Drain from that thing, so I'm gonna switch out, go into my Heatmore to preserve my my Sandshrew. But he actually goes to the knockoff, so that was kind of an unintentional prediction because I mean if my Sandshrew lost its knockoff, then or lost its Eviolite, then that would be pretty bad for me. So I'm gonna go for a Home Claws on the switch, knowing that he does not want to stay in on a Fire Blast, and he's actually gonna go into his Gardevoir, which really does suck because now he's gonna trace my Flash Fire. So I really can't do anything to him. So knowing that he's Trace over Synchronize, I can now safely bring in my Grumpig and then Toxic him because I know I could Toxic him without the worry of him bouncing back with Synchronize. And even though I mean, even if he does have Synchronize, it really is no big deal because I do have Heal Bell on this Grumpig regardless. So looking at the damage from that Side Shock, I know I could take 3, 4 of those maybe, depending on min-max damage and lefties and whatnot. So just gonna fire off Psychic just to kind of speed along the Toxic process. And he's actually gonna switch out, going to his Bayonet here. Bayonet takes a huge chunk from Psychic, typically, or mainly because Bayonet really isn't too bulky. And yeah, so I'm gonna switch out of there because I don't want to take a Sucker Punch or a Shadow Sneak from that thing. So I'm just going to switch out of there, but he shows me Pursuit, so now I'm going to be very careful as to not lock my Stantler in onto return because I'm Choice Scarf Stantler. And if I lock my Stantler in onto return while the Bayonet is still alive, then he is pretty much guaranteed to get a huge chunk of damage off on Stantler, if not kill. So knowing he's going to want to switch out on my Sandshrew, I'm just going to set up rocks on the switch. He brings in Tangela. Same thing as before, I don't want to take a Giga Drain from that thing, or maybe, I think our hero is predicting to be a Leech Seed, but, which is why I went into Leafeon over Heatmore. And, he's actually just going to put me to sleep as he brings in his, Exploud here. Now, I want to scout to see what kind of set this Exploud is, and he shows me Echo Voice, telling me that he's a Scarf set, because, I mean, when do you see Echo Voice without the Choice Scarf? So, fortunately for me, I will be able to wake up this next turn and go for the Leaf Blade, but he just barely lives on, which sucks. So he will be able to finish off my Leafeon with another Echo Voice, which sucks because I really would have liked to have Leafeon for his Gardevoir because I have X Scissor, and Leafeon really is the only thing I can really hit that Gardevoir with for super effective damage. So I'm gonna bring in Stanley here pretty much as a revenge kill, and it really doesn't matter what I lock myself onto because he has a solid check for or solid counter for whatever I do decide to lock myself onto. Just went for Wild Charge. I don't know why. I should have just gone for Earthquake or Zen Headbutt, but I went for Wild Charge. I really don't know why. So just gonna go into my Heatmore here. Pretty much at this point as fodder because that's all Heatmore really was through this entire battle, just as a fodder. I mean, he's just gonna put me to sleep here, which sucks. But I mean, now my Heatmore is asleep, so he can't put anything else that's more important to sleep. And yeah, so I really don't want him to use my Heatmore as a health machine type of thing. So I'm going to switch out, go into my my Samurott. Samurott was kind of a risky switch in for a Tangela, but I mean, I know I can take at least 1 Giga Drain because Tangela aren't offensive, and Samurott do have a nice HP stat. So he's actually also gonna switch out, go into his Armaldo here. And I've decided to lock myself onto Ice Beam over Hydro Pump because he still has his Tangela, and if I lock myself on the Hydro Pump, he could bring in his Tangela to resist the Hydro Pump and take those hits well. And yeah, so I get the freeze with the first Ice Beam, but he thaws out next turn, gets his rocks up, and spins away my rocks. Which, I mean, really is no big deal because, like I said, the rocks really were just there mainly for his Armaldo and just to get extra damage on stuff. And, I mean, I could just very easily bring in Sandshrew safely later on and then Rapid Spin or set up my rocks again. But he brings his Gardevoir here, and I don't think an Ice Beam will be able to KO that Gardevoir from that range. So I'm just going to switch out, go into my Heatmore here, and I actually make another unintentional prediction. I set up, or he goes to the Will-O-Wisp on my Heatmore, and I get the useless Flash Fire Boost. Useless because, well, I'm asleep, and I can't even outspeed him anyways, so he's just going to fish me up with a Psyshock, which is, oh, okay, that's great. Heatmore's dead, whatever. So now I get a safe switch into my Stanley here, and after effects take so long. But now I'm bringing my Stanley here, and I'll go for the return just because I want to KO that Gardevoir. But I mean, right after I clicked return, I was just, crap. His Beta is still alive. So now he will be able to bring in his Beta and just completely wreck face all over my stand there. And so yeah, I'm gonna have to switch out of there because just staying in while I'm locking return is obviously not the smartest play. And I very fortunately live with that small amount of HP, which is just great. So now I'm going to bring in my Samurott here, and I'm just going to fire off an Ice Beam because same thing as before, I don't want to lock myself onto Hydro Pump while his Tangela's still alive. So Ice Beam is going to be the better option. He brings in his Seviper here, and Seviper has such an awesome shiny sprite. I just thought I'll point that out because Seviper's shiny sprite is absolutely awesome looking. Like I said in the team preview, I want to do some scouting, see what Survivor wants to do. So I go into my Stanley here, pretty much as Death Fodder, and to scout what he wants to do. He goes for the Dragon Tail, so now I know I still don't know what kind of set he is. All I know is he has Dragon Tail. But I mean, now I can bring in my my Samurott here and fire off an Ice Beam, finish off the Seviper, and yeah, and be at a pretty good position. So now it's down to his last two Pokemon, his Tangela and his Bayonet. I know he's going to want to go for Sucker Punch because, well, he has no other options. And I'm just going to go for an Ice Beam. And I do manage to KO it, but I get the Curse Body hacks. So, I mean, the Curse Body, it really is no huge deal. All it's really going to do is kind of increase my score, or decrease the score. That's what I meant to say. Because my last Pokemon are Samurott and Sandshrew. And his last Pokemon is Tangela, and I'm pretty confident that an Ice Beam will be able to KO the Tangela because Tangela do have a pretty pitiful special defense, even with Eviolite. So just gonna bring a Sandshrew Bolt because I have to, unless I want to struggle. And struggling really isn't the best idea, especially against a Tangela. So I actually managed to live a Giga Drain, which is like, whoa! I barely lived that with like 10 HP. Actually, I think it was 13, but whatever. So now I will be able to bring in Samurott, and I will be able to live the rocks, and I will be able to finish them with Ice Beam. So that right there was a great game. Fatal Fatalities. Both of our links will be in the channel or the video description down below. And so feel free to mosey on over to each of our channels if you want to see some more battles, and if you like this battle, and just be all like, hey, I saw you guys on Pokemoshpitbeta, and just yeah. So yeah, that was about that for this battle. So if you guys enjoyed this battle, leave a comment down below. Click the like button because the like button is always appreciated. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this battle, thanks for watching. Do not forget to comment. Definitely don't forget to like, and do not forget to subscribe.